Once upon a time in a big city, there was a little match girl who sold matches on the street corners. She was very pretty with rosy cheeks and beautiful long hair, but she was also very poor and cold. One day, when the little match girl was selling her matches, she met an old woman who looked very kind. The old woman asked her, "Why are you so sad?" But after a few days, the old woman started to mistreat the little match girl. She quietly opened the window and climbed out. It was a very cold winter night, and the little match girl was only in a thin nightgown. But she didn't care. She was too scared of the old woman to go back home. "I will take care of you and protect you from the bad old woman." The little match girl told the kind man about her life before she met the old woman, how she had sold matches on the streets, and how she had dreamed of a better life. But it is also important to be brave and never give up hope, because good people exist and they will always help those in need. And when it was time for bed, the kind man showed her a cozy room where she could sleep. The little match girl was very tired from her adventure, so she went to sleep right away. The little match girl nodded, realizing that the kind man was right. The kind man listened patiently and offered her some wise advice. Finally, the old woman went to the market to look for her. When she saw the little match girl selling matches, she was very angry. The little match girl was very grateful to the kind man. She knew that she had found a real friend. The little match girl just ignored her and continued selling matches. She was determined to have enough money to buy a new house and never have to worry about being poor again. She still lived with the kind man, and they became very good friends. The old woman was furious, but she couldn't do anything. The kind man was the best man, and he gave the little match girl some wise advice before she married the prince. The old woman was very proud of the woman the little match girl had become, and the kind man was happy to see that she was living a happy life. The little match girl was very grateful to the kind man. The little match girl learned that even though life can be tough sometimes, it's important to be kind and helpful to others. With a little bit of courage, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve your dreams. She knew that she owed him her new life. The little match girl had already made some money, and she wasn't afraid of her anymore. One day, the little match girl met a prince. They started dating, and the prince was very kind and respectful towards her. He often brought her flowers and sweets, and they enjoyed spending time together. So she kept walking and walking until she found a small house where someone had lit a fire. She made her work all day long without giving her any rest. And at night, she would lock the little match girl up in a small, dark room. The kind man had already prepared breakfast, and they ate together before making a plan for the day. They had two beautiful children, a boy and a girl, and they lived in a big house by the sea. The little match girl never forgot the kindness of the old woman who had adopted her, nor the friendship of the kind man who had helped her escape from the old woman's clutches. The little match girl wanted to find a new job so she could earn money and buy some new clothes. The kind man helped her make some nice clothes out of his old ones. The little match girl promised to remember her friend's advice and to always be kind and helpful to others. Then he walked her to the market where she could start selling matches again. The little match girl was very sad, but she didn't know what to do. The little match girl replied, "I am not sad. I'm just cold." She was worried that someone might have kidnapped her, but she was also secretly hoping that the little match girl would not come back. That way, she could keep all the little match girl's money for herself. Then the old woman said, "If you want to stop being cold, come live with me." As she started selling matches, she remembered the advice the kind man had given her. She was polite and friendly with everyone and soon started making some money. "I will take care of you and give you all the warmth you need." The little match girl was very happy to hear that and immediately agreed. So the old woman took the little match girl home, gave her some warm clothes, and made her feel very welcome. Then one day, while the old woman was asleep, the little match girl decided to escape. The little match girl knocked on the door and said, "Please let me in. I am freezing cold." The person inside looked through the little hole on the door and saw that the little match girl was indeed very cold. So he opened the door and invited her inside. The little match girl told him everything that had happened, how the old woman had mistreated her, and how she had escaped. The person who had opened the door was a kind man. He listened to the little match girl's story and felt very sorry for her. The little match girl sat down next to the fire and started to feel better. Then the person inside asked her, "Why are you outside on such a cold night?" He said, "You can stay here as long as you want." The kind man gave her some warm clothes and food, and then they sat down by the fire and started talking. He said, "It is important to be careful when you don't know people well, because not everyone is as kind as they seem." They spent the whole evening together, sharing stories and laughter. In the morning, she woke up feeling refreshed and happy. The little match girl was a bit nervous, but she knew that she had to try. Meanwhile, the old woman was looking everywhere for the little match girl. The old woman asked some of her friends if they had seen the little match girl, but they had no information. She went up to her and said, "Why didn't you come back home? I was so worried about you." From that day on, the little match girl worked hard and saved all her money. He often told her stories about his life and gave her advice on how to be a good and honest person. And whenever she saw a shooting star, she made a wish that the kind man would live a long and happy life. The little match girl was very happy with the prince, and she knew that he was the perfect man for her. They got married in a beautiful ceremony. He said, "My dear little match girl, you are marrying a wonderful man. But it is important to remember that no matter who you marry, you should always stay true to yourself and never forget where you came from." After the wedding, the little match girl and the prince lived happily ever after. She often visited them and told them stories about her life with the prince and her children. From time to time, the little match girl would see shooting stars and make a wish for her friends, hoping that they, too, were happy and healthy. And that's the end of our story. Thank you for listening and see you next time.